Indie band Teleman are currently touring in support of their new album Family of Aliens. I caught up with singer and guitarist Tom Sanders and bassist Pete Cattermole backstage before their gig at the Castle and Falcon in Birmingham. I won't ask you how the tour's going, because I'm sure it happens all the time, and let's face it, it's obvious. You're a good band, it's a good tour.
Yeah.
So, I will ask you, what is your favourite song to play live?
That's a good question. It's currently a song called Repeater, which I've always enjoyed playing live because, funnily enough, we recorded that song without ever having played it as a band together. So we just got in the room, just kind of listened to a demo, talked it through with the producer, and then the riff is pretty simple. It's like 4 notes. So we just started playing.
Hence Repeater, because it repeats.
Yeah, it's very repetitive. We just bashed it out, and that was it. And then the first time we played it live, I was just like, fucking yeah, this is great. All the energy came out.
It's a great song, so it worked for you. Pete, what about you?
It's a really nice story, yeah, I like that. I don't know. Maybe Submarine Life, actually. Because we played that yesterday on the Mark Riley session on Six Music.
Which sounded great, by the way.
Thank you. I just, I found that playing it live at gigs is quite different to playing it on radio, where you're very close in the sound, headphones and stuff. And at gigs, it seems to be quite there's this like big sound, you know? It doesn't have that little sort of like plucky quality.
I know what you mean.
I don't know, I'm trying to get that in the live sound, but it's quite hard.
No, I know what you mean. I saw you guys at Rough Trade recently. I liked how, on a record, I think it's an acoustic guitar riff that you played, Tom.
Was that in Bristol or London?
That would have been in London.
I know what you mean, yeah, the acoustic guitar.
But that's like on keyboard now, and then Tom plays it on
yeah.
electric, and I thought that sounded really rather nice.
Well spotted. Yeah, not many people would notice that. Yeah, I just didn't want to take an acoustic guitar on tour. It's another thing to have to plug in. You want to kind of keep things flowing during a gig. And if you're trying to recreate exactly what happened on the record, it feels like you're trying to shoehorn in things that don't necessarily work in a live context. So why not just play it on an electric guitar? I mean, you get the essence of the part across in a different way, not necessarily better or worse, just different.
That's interesting, because my next question, funnily enough, was how difficult was it for you guys to transform the new songs into playing them live? But I feel like you've kind of answered that for me now. So
yeah, song by song, it varies wildly. Like Submarine Life was tricky. Technically speaking, there was a lot of stuff we had to work out how we were going to do, because there's the vocoder which is processing my vocal, and it's very kind of it's a song which it's quite it needs to be really tight and metronomic for it to feel good, I think, that song. So yeah, it took a lot of practicing and fiddling. Other songs just like Repeater, for example, just piece of piss, as they say. It just comes out very naturally, and it feels, yeah, don't need to work on it very much. It's just boom, it's there already. The blueprint's there.
So you guys have 3 records now, and of course the Thump EP. When you come to choosing your set list, is that a challenge for you?
Not really, because we don't know how to play most of the songs, so we just choose the ones that we can play and forget about the rest. But in all seriousness, we just we choose the singles, and then we just add, like, there was like Skeleton Dance that we used to play that one all the time, and Mainline, and now we just stopped playing them because I think like we've moved in a slightly different direction, like sonically and stylistically, like with more like electronic and like dancey beats or whatever. Less kind of indie sound. I mean, maybe one day we'll play this again in a electronic setting. I don't know. You were going to say something else then?
No, it's okay. I was just checking my question sheet because I'm the consummate professional, as
Okay,
ever.
let's see what's
Go on then.
next.
Well, you can choose a question. Choose a question for me, Pete. Tom, you can go next. Don't worry. I'm not
You've
leaving you
spoken about the need to keep evolving your sound. How do you do this?
I mean, I would have asked it in a slightly
That's a
more.
great question.
I like to think I'd have asked it in a slightly more less notey form.
Okay.
But
Go on, you asked.
okay, go on then. Okay, so Tom, I think it was you.
No, it probably was.
I believe in the
who
press
said that.
pack that comes with the album. You want to keep moving on and every album being something different, and you want to keep evolving your sound to make sure you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Is there a sort of process behind that? Is there something that you have to do consciously, or is that something that just kind of manifests itself?
I think it's the latter, really. It's something that I think we ourselves would feel quite stale and stagnant and bored, really, if we were doing the same thing again. You know, like album Mark 4 is just pretty much the same as album 3. So yeah, we feel like a desire to change. It's not some kind of external pressure. It comes from us. It's like we really want to see what we can do and what feels good, and that's going to dictate what the album's going to sound like.
Okay, that's quite interesting. That. Just lastly on that note, I guess to finish up on, you guys have been going for a long time now. Not just as Teleman, of course. Tom, you done Tap Tap, and obviously Being the Pirates beforehand. Do you ever look back at the whole thing and think, do you know what, I'm really proud of how far we've come? Or do you sometimes say, do you know what, I would change that? I'm just curious, like, what is the kind of outlook when you look back at your entire career?
Well, for me, yeah, I do feel like, fond memories of what we've done, and it's funny to think that we still do it in some ways. I'm like, wow, like, still playing on stages and with the same people and stuff. Like, it can be a bit surreal, but I think that's good as well. It's like life, it can just be surreal. Like, what are we doing? I
think that is a question that I've never been asked, and I think it's a really good question, because it's actually you're asking me to be. It's quite a sort of, it's quite a difficult and personal thing to answer, and to say, like, you're kind of saying, do you have regrets about things, or do you think that everything happened as it should have happened? And I'm obviously, the answer that you should probably say is no, everything's great, we had a great time. And honestly, I mean, looking back, what I regret is not being ambitious enough and just not taking it seriously, because there was a good few years where everything was just a joke. It was a party, like it was like riding a wave, and we thought everything was just going to be up and up and up, and it was just, we reached a certain age and a certain point, I guess, in what you could have called a career, where we were like, we need to actually pull our fingers out and take this seriously. And I think by then we'd already probably decided to break up. Yeah.
About
it could have been pretty different, I reckon.
Like, if we had been more ambitious as like 20-somethings, like, well, we wouldn't be here, would we? Talking
we
to
wouldn't.
you.
And to be honest, like,
this is quite nice.
From my personal opinion, I think you're better as Teleman than like anything before. So I think you made the right choice.
We would never have got Teleman had we made Pete and the Pirates.
Yeah. You
global phenomenon.
If you're happy where you are and you're enjoying what you're doing, everything that happened before that got you there is important and necessary, even if at the time, it was difficult or stressful or crap. I'm not saying that we were crap, but it wasn't all great.
You just roll the dice every night in this game.
That's got to be a meme at some point.
Tonight it's in Birmingham at the Castle and Falcon.
Do check it out. Thanks so much, guys, for talking to me. I really appreciate it. I know you've stopped your sound check for me, and that's really, really great of you and very kind.
Yep.
So thank you so much, guys. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Charlie.